Just got to read the title of this video. Imagine that happened to you. Ah, the possibilities. What's good, guys? Ash Bash back again with another episode of Ash Bash Waffles On. And we've got a different kind of style of video today. I'm not particularly waffling on a particular subject, but this is a question that came up on the Sneaker Podcast quite a while ago. How I normally come about doing these videos in general is I'm normally at work, just thinking away, and something will pop in my mind. When I get the chance, I write it down in my notes, and this is a note that I had sitting in my phone for a little bit, but I figured now's the time to sort of do this little thing, have a nice little interaction with you guys, especially in the comments. So this is it. So as you can see from the title, it's about if you found randomly £5,000 or $5,000 or 5,000 euros, wherever you're from, if you found that money and you could only spend it on sneakers and you cannot do it for resale. I shouldn't even have to mention that, but you know how people are these days. They say, oh, buy this shoe, flip it for this shoe. No, you got to buy shoes with this money and you can't spend it on anything else. That's how the game's going to work. So you got £5,000. What would you spend it on? So today I went to the Presented by Clicked website. I'll link it down below if you want to use it as a reference for prices and stuff, because it's obviously going to be at resale price unless you want to buy 5,000 pairs of GRs or sneakers you can buy in the shops. Up to you. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to see sort of like what sneakers you're into, what sneakers you really want. I've done a list here. I think I've managed to fit in 11 pairs with a little bit of money to spare. And I've missed out on some super duper bangers, but they go for hella money. So not actually making my list. I'll mention one of the honorable mentions now that people might thought that I would have on the sneaker list, but they're not on there. And that is the Jordan 1 Fragments. I'd love that pair of sneakers, but at like £1,800, whatever it is, it's not worth it if I had my 5K. I'd rather spending on this big bunch. So I might be looking over to the left there because I've got my laptop with my sneakers there, but let's go through it. So I've written mine down and I've got 11 in my list, starting with most expensive to cheapest. And the number one pair, not necessarily the number one that I want, but number one most expensive pair that I would buy is the Air Max 1 Atmos Elephant. And that was going for £660. Crazy money. Pissed I missed out on it, but they're so fire. That's the only way I'd end up buying a pair because that price is outrageous, but they're so fire. Number two is probably my favorite pair of Jordans that I do not own. Is that for sure? Yeah, I'd say it's for sure. And that is the Shattered Backboard 1s. I remember a time when they were going for like £300, but now they're going for £650. Crazy. I remember there's a chance I actually could have bought them before for like £350, but there's so many fakes about that I wouldn't even risk it at the moment. So that's off the list for me really buying it. But if I had the money, I'd just go for it. Maybe that's like, maybe Presented by Clicked is more reliable, I assume, doing their fake checks and all that, legit checks. So hopefully, but yeah, £650. That's for number two. Number three is a recent pair that came out, and that is the Nike React Element 87 in the Sail colorway. I absolutely love those sneakers. Obviously, I've got my pair and I love them a lot, but the OG pair in that Sail colorway, woo, super hot fire. And the price of them is £500. That's a lot. I'm sure you can get it for cheaper than that, surely, but supposedly that's what it is. I know the recent two colorways that came out are much cheaper, and there is the collaboration coming out with, who's the company again? I'll show it down below. I've totally spazzed in my mind on that. There's a collaboration pair coming out soon, which not too bad, so we shall see with that. Number four is a banger that every time I go to Oxford Street and I go into Foot Patrol, I look at them in the glass and I think, I just want a pair. I've heard people saying they've seen them for like sort of decent prices on resale, but not that I've seen lately. But anywho, that is the Foot Patrol times Saucony Shadow 6000. I believe they're only in Soho pack. I believe they're called. Super duper fire. And the price of those is also £500. Big chunk of change. I will not be dropping that, but I really want a pair. If anyone sees them for a decent price, or anyone's got them for sale at a decent price, I want to do a trade, UK 10, holler at your boy. Next up on the list is a pair that maybe I wouldn't buy because they're supposedly going to be restocking sometime this year. And that is the Yeezy 350 V2 Zebras. Easily my favorite colorway when it comes to Adidas Yeezy V2s. They're so fire and they're going for $460 supposedly. That's too steep a price. £300 maybe, but $460, ugh, not happening. But they're fire, they're fire. Next up on the list is a pair that when they first came out, I totally, for some reason I was like, no, don't think I even entered raffles for them. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Just totally no sold them. Then I saw my girlfriend's uncle. Is it my uncle? Is his uncle? Yeah, it's her uncle. He was rocking a pair of them and I was like, oh, why don't I go for them? They're super fire. And that is the Jordan 1 top 3s. Obviously, it's got the Chicagos, the Breads, and the Royals all mixed in a crazy colorway. It's fire, and I don't know what I was thinking. But they go for $450. That's too high for me again. But if I had this 5,000, I'd do it. Next up is a pair that I consider a grail for sure, and I need to get a pair one day. But again, so many fakes out, so it's tough. And I've done a story before on this Waffle On segment about how I had my nightmare when I could have actually bought a pair. And that is for the Asics x Ronnie Fieg Homage. God damn, they're fire. So much going on. It's like a what the Asics. The box was crazy. They came with hella spare laces. It was a madness. And I believe it was $440 they're going for at the moment. I'm not paying that with all the fakes going around, but there is a price I would pay. I'm not saying it, but there is a price I would pay. Next up is another pair of Sauconys, a pair that I wanted since I ever saw them really, and I've actually seen them for some decent prices online, but they're always slightly worn, and I don't know what it is about that, the material of it, but it seems like just one little wear and the material looks a bit funky, so I don't know. But anywho, it is the Saucony Burgers. It's a collaboration with N Clothing. They're super fire, wicked concept, the whole box and what came with it, awesome. And the price of those at the moment is $350. Kind of high, but kind of doable as well. Yeah, a ninth on the list. I don't even know if I've been numbering all of these, but I've managed to fit these in the 5,000 budget as well. It is the Asics x Hanon Solstice. The colorways in these are super duper dope. The blue and the purple. The materials are crazy as well. A must have pair. And I believe these go for $330. Steep again, but kind of doable, who knows. And number 10, another pair that I fit in this 5,000 budget is the Atmos x Nike Air Max 1 Animal Pack. These are super wild. Again, another pair that when I took my L, which was expected, I wasn't too heartbroken or anything like that. I'm still not too heartbroken, but I really do like them. The more I see people rock them, I think, kind of like these. Price isn't too mad. I believe it is $270. So with trades and stuff, you might be able to get a pair, but I don't know. But maybe one day. I've just realized that I've missed out the Air Max 1 size collab, which I can't fit in because my budget doesn't allow it, but I might have traded them for them. I'm not sure. I think they actually go for 300. So they're a little bit more expensive on that website, but it is what it is. Now the last pair on the list, I managed to fit them in. Super dope pair. I believe they came out in like 2014 or 15 maybe, I'm not sure. It's a collaboration between Epitome and Saucony in the Shadow 5000 model, and the colorway is fire. Reminds me colorway wise of the Asics x Ronnie Fieg Coves. That sort of like, what's that color called? That greeny blue color, turquoise? Yeah, turquoise. And the toe box, super fire. These actually come up as £230. I think 170, 180, you can get me sold, but 230, a little bit too high. But yeah, that would round off my 11 pairs that I managed to fit in my £5,000 budget. So the question to you is, what would you get? Would you go all out and buy some like off-white AJ1s or the Prestos? I've missed out on loads of heat that I could have gone for, but it would make me end up buying like 3 or 4 pairs instead of the 11 pairs that I lovely and I really want. But yeah, end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Definitely put down in the comments what you would get. I'm interested to know. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, ashbashsneakers. I take dope pictures very often. And follow me on Twitter as well, Perfection7. More videos like this every single Monday, and sneaker reviews as and when I pick stuff up. I'm out. Later, yo.